Filing an LLC costs somewhere between $35 and over $500, depending on your state. That's one of those facts that should be simple, but somehow nobody tells you up front. And that price gap is just the beginning. There are 5 steps you absolutely cannot skip when forming an LLC, and then a handful more that aren't technically required but will save you from some genuinely expensive mistakes down the line. I'm going to walk you through all of them in order so you know exactly what to do, what it costs, and where most people trip up. Here's the secret though. All of these can be done using an LLC formation service. For a bunch of reasons I've broken down in other videos, I use Northwest Registered Agent. So if you're intimidated by any of these steps, just note that for $39, they'll do the whole thing for you. First thing, your LLC needs a name, and it can't just be whatever you want. Every state requires your business name to be distinguishable on the record from other businesses already registered there. So if someone in your state already filed Bright Path Consulting LLC, you can't file Bright Path Consulting LLC and call it a day. The state will reject that. You also have to include a legal identifier, Limited Liability Company, LLC, or L.C. in the name itself. And most states won't let you use words like bank, insurance, or university unless you have a specific license or approval to do so. So before you get attached to a name, search your state's business registry. Every Secretary of State website has a name availability tool. Takes 2 minutes. Do it before you order business cards, before you build the website, before you tell anyone what the company is called. Once you have a name, you need a registered agent. This is the person whose service designated to receive legal documents on behalf of your LLC. Lawsuits, government notices, tax correspondence, every single state requires one. Here's what matters. Your registered agent has to have a physical street address in the state where your LLC is formed, not a P.O. box, a real address, and they need to be available during normal business hours to accept documents. You can be your own registered agent, that's legal, but here's the trade-off. Your address goes into the public record. If you're running your business from home, your home address is now in a searchable government database. And if you're ever served with a lawsuit, that process server is showing up at your house. That's why most founders hire a professional registered agent service. It keeps your home address off the public filing, and it means you're not the one answering the door when something uncomfortable arrives. Northwest Registered Agent handles this as part of their $39 formation package. Link is in the description, and using it supports the channel at no extra cost to you. This is the step that actually creates your LLC. You file a document, usually called Articles of Organization, though some states call it a Certificate of Formation, with your state's Secretary of State office. The filing fee ranges from around $50 to over $500 depending on the state. You can usually file online, and processing takes anywhere from a few business days to a few weeks depending on whether you pay for expedited handling. Once that's filed and approved, your LLC legally exists, but you're not done. Next, get an EIN, an employer identification number from the IRS. Think of it as a social security number for your business. You need it to hire employees, file taxes, and open a business bank account. The application is free, it's on the IRS website, and if you apply online during business hours, you'll get your number immediately. This is one step where you genuinely don't need to pay anyone. The IRS hands it to you in real time. Once your LLC is approved and you've received your EIN, there's one mistake that can undermine everything you've set up: treating your business and personal finances as the same thing. Open a dedicated business bank account and use it exclusively for business income and expenses. The liability protection an LLC provides only works if the company operates as a separate legal entity. When owners mix personal and business funds, they create an opening for someone to argue that the LLC isn't truly separate, which can put personal assets at risk. While you're setting things up, there are a few other important items to check off. Create an operating agreement, even if you're a single-member LLC. Verify whether your state has any special requirements, such as publication rules in states like New York. Make sure you obtain any licenses or permits required by your city, county, or industry. Consider business insurance to protect the company itself, and review any current FinCEN reporting requirements that may apply to your business. That's really the full process. If you'd rather have someone handle the paperwork for you, the service I use and recommend is Northwest Registered Agent. For $39 plus state fees, they form your LLC, serve as your registered agent, and help keep your home address off the public record. If you'd like to check them out, you'll find a link in the description below.